Okay, so today we are going to learn how to wrap a surgical gown. Things that you will need are a OK strip, sterilization strip. You need some sterilization tape, a pin to mark on, your gown that is reusable and autoclavable. You need a huck towel, and you need 2 wraps. Probably about a medium-sized wrap works the best. Okay, so once we've gathered all of our items, then we can go ahead and start folding. I'm going to set these to the side here. Okay, so when we're folding our gown, it needs to be washed, dried, and it needs to be lint rolled after it's gone through the dryer to make sure that it is as clean as possible. Okay, now that we've done that, we have done all of that. I like to use this long gurney, or surgical back table is technically what it is, to wrap these on, because you need a large surface for that to happen, to be able to fold them appropriately. So, you're going to start by laying your gown down inside, with the inside of the gown on the table. So, what would be the inside of the gown? Let me show you here, a little closer to the camera. If you can see these seams where the edges have been serged on this gown, that is the inside of the gown, okay? That is important because on the inside of these gowns are ties. That is on the inside of the gown, again, okay? The outside of the gown does not have, well, I guess the outside of the gown does have one tie right here, and then the 2 ties that are up at the top, okay? And then the tie on the side. So, again, the best way to tell is serged edges and tie on the inside, okay? So, with that being said, let's throw this out. I'm gonna go lengthways, so the long portion of the gown needs to go with the long portion of the table. I'm recording right now, just so you know. That's, you can come in here. Recording's in here with us.
I'm just going to show you a beautiful picture, so I'll show you later.
Oh, okay. So flatten this out as best to your ability that you can. These gowns love to get really kinked up, and they get a little bit difficult to fold once they're all kinked up. But so I've got the, again, inside of the gown on the table and the outside of the gown facing up. And I've got it all flattened out, okay? Now I'm gonna take both of the arms and I'm gonna fold them in nice and flat. You want everything to be nice and flat. And then I'm gonna take one side of the gown, and it's slick, so it wants to fall off the table. I'm gonna take the side of the gown and fold it in, okay? Again, you want everything to be nice and even. There is 2 different fabrics here. So there's this slick, kind of purpley looking fabric here, and then this blue fabric on the inside that's like a cotton, stiff cotton fabric. And there's a seam that rolls along there. That's where I fold that in at, okay? So right here, it's all there. Got it nice and folded along that seam, okay? The other important thing is, I'm gonna come down here to the edge. Remember that we put our sleeve on the inside, folded on the inside here. This sleeve has a hole right here, a slit, okay? And you'll see 2 serged ends on the slit of the armhole. You want to match those up, line them up nice and crisp together. Make sure it's nice and together. Lay it flat. I usually line them up, and then put my hand on it, and then take the sleeve and pull down just a little bit, just so that I make sure that that's nice and crisp there, and that there's not going to be any problems with folding it. then we'll lay this back down, okay? So now that that side is done, we're gonna do the other side in the exact same way. And then this little guy is just gonna go right here on the inside. I'm just gonna tuck it right underneath there like that, okay? So now we're gonna come over here, reach across the top. We're gonna do the same thing with this side. We just want the sleeve to be laid down nice and flat, not a whole bunch of wrinkles in there. And then we're gonna take this other side here, and then we're going to fold it up. And again, you're looking for that serged edge there. Okay, fold that over to the side. I like to walk right up here to the end. And again, we're gonna take these two serged edges on the shoulders here, or the arm. The arm ski, I think, is technically what it's called if you know how to sew. And we're gonna make a little slit there, or we're gonna make those line up, that slit line up, okay? And again, I'm just moving the fabric around so that I can try to get those as lined up to the best of my ability. And this fabric is very, again, difficult to work with, and it can get a little frustrating, so exercise your patience with it, if you will. There you go. Okay, so we've got those edges. I've got a nice sleeveless gown here now, basically. And now I'm going to take all these little ties and I'm just going to fold them right in the middle so that they're nice, piled up right there in the middle, so they're nice and tangle free. Okay, now here comes the fun part. Once you get this guy all tied up like that, or folded up like this, you have to flip it. So you want this side to actually be on the table now. Okay, how are you gonna do that after you had it nice and folded? Well, what I like to do is grab up here at the top so that these two are the same or held together. And then I'm also gonna grab underneath, just so I have the whole thing. I'm gonna karate chop it right in the middle. So I'm holding both ends here, and I'm going to do a quick little and lay it down, okay? And pull my hand out. So now your purple side is on the top, okay? Now that you've done that, you will have to just make sure that everything is nice and crisp still and lined up the way that you wanted it to be, okay? And it doesn't look like anything really got too out of whack. Now hopefully you can still see this side. So see where I was talking about these two seams need to be lined up together. You can see them a little bit better from this angle. So there's that one, and then we'll just go ahead and redo this one too. Hopefully my head's not in the way for that. Get in there, little fella. Pull it in. There we go. I feel like we need an iron, right? These things would probably melt if we iron them. Okay, so now next step. You're gonna take this and you're gonna fold it in. Okay? So you're gonna fold it about 3/4 of the way in. I guess it's about 1/3 of the way in. I'll fold it to it's about 1/3 of the way in. Okay? And then this one I'm gonna fold until it's about 1/3 of the way in. Okay, so now by doing so, these edges line up together, this and this. And look at this, we have a V. You should have a perfect, beautiful V by the time you get done folding these. Okay, to look just like this. Now, the reason being is that when the doctor grabs this, they're gonna know right here by this seam that this is the armhole. So they're gonna grab right here when they're putting this on. They're gonna pick it directly up and it should fall down and they should be able to put it right on, okay? Now we're gonna accordion this guy, which means that we're just gonna fold him like this all the way until we've got this nice little square, okay? You don't want it to be folded too big. You want it to be folded to where it will fit nicely, kind of like an envelope, right? It'll fit nicely and store away. So when we're done, it'll look something like this, okay? Now, I'm just gonna lift this up here on the bottom, get my fingers underneath it so nothing falls apart. And I'm gonna guesstimate, I'm gonna probably make my first fold right here at the end of the V, right here. So, I'm gonna lift back and fold forward. So if I want my fold to be right at the end of that V, I need the bottom to be the same size as it, right? So, about like that, okay? Then we want to take these little ties and we just want to stuff them in underneath, just like that, okay? And then now it's going to be easy peasy because this is going to be my marker right here. We're going to fold there. Oops. Fold there. Okay. Make sure everything's nice and flat underneath, and then fold again. So there's a fold there, and then back underneath again, like that, and then like that. And just keep folding until the whole gown is that particular size. Okay? Again, try to make sure everything's as straight as possible. Okay, and then one more flip. There we go. And then again, make sure that your little ties are still tied back there. Okay, so this is what it should look like when it's all said and done. Okay, so now we need to fold our hut towel. Our hut towel also needs to be folded in an accordion fashion. So set that aside. We're gonna fold the hut towel long ways. Fold it in half, like that. Okay, make sure it's nice and smooth. Then we're gonna take and fold one side back towards the folded edge. So we're gonna take the open edge of one side and fold it back towards the folded edge. Give it a little push down with your fingers. And then I'm gonna flip it upside down, like that. And then I'm gonna do the other side to match. Okay, just like that. Then we're gonna fold it the other direction. Right in half. I like to put my fingers right there in the middle to get my line. Fold it until it matches up there. And then we're gonna fold it back to the folded edge. Same thing, flip it over, fold this one. Hi honey, I'm recording just so you know. It's okay. And then once you got it folded, take a little piece, a little corner and fold it down so that when the doctor grabs it, they can grab it up very easily. Okay? Now we're gonna take and we're gonna get my supplies here. I'm almost done, Maddie. Yeah, no worries. Okay, so then we're gonna take our OK strip, or sterilization strip, remember? And we're gonna put that, boop, right there in the middle, so that it's sandwiched in between our huck towel and our gown. Okay, so then our huck towel just goes right on top. Now we're gonna set that aside, and we're gonna lay out one of our wraps. So wrap again needs to be clean, needs to be freshly washed and dried, and then it needs to be lint rolled. Okay, so that there's no lint that potentially get drug over and put into the pets. Oh, cat, that would be bad. Okay, so I've got one wrap laid out here. I tried to, got pretty wrinkly. I tried to lay it out as flat as I can. When I lay my wraps out, I always lay them out where a corner is facing me. It works best for me. That's how I do it. You'll figure out how you want to do it, but it doesn't really matter at which order you do it as long as the end result is the same. Okay, so the first piece that you need to fold over is the corner that is closest to you. Fold it over and lay it on top of your gown and your hot towel, okay? Then you're gonna fold, and so the point is facing away from you. Then you want that point to be folded towards you and then back out again. Every time you fold a gown, you want your points to be facing towards the outside, okay? Towards the outer perimeter of the gown. So that whenever you're opening a pack, you can grab here, and what you're touching is the outside of the pack and not the inside of the pack, okay? So, we want to do this as tight as we can so that it fits in the shelf well, okay? So I'm just gonna pull it back and try to get it tight. Keep my hand on this so that it doesn't unfold. And now we're just gonna do one of the sides, okay? So center first, and then it doesn't matter which side, but you gotta do one of the sides next. Same fashion, you're gonna fold it over, pull it tight. I'm gonna fold it back towards the center, and then the point towards the outside, okay? Now we're gonna do it again, where the point is towards the outside. I'm gonna fold it in and then back out again. So you have that little ridge. Move my light over a little bit and see if that helps you guys see it a little better. Okay. Now I turn mine because I'm right-handed, and I need to be able to pull this with my left hand to flop it over. Okay, so with my left hand, I'm gonna grab this last piece of this envelope, and I'm gonna flop it over the top, then over my hand. I'm gonna take my hand and I'm just gonna push it down and slide my other hand out, okay? And then we're gonna tuck it in to those little folds that we made. So there we go. And just leave a teeny tiny bit out so that way you can pull it and open it, okay? And look how nice and tight that is. That's how that should look. Now we have to wrap it again. So everything gets double wrapped unless it's in a pouch. The only time you would double wrap something in a pouch is if it's got multiple items in it, okay? So there we go. Now we're gonna lay this wrapped piece in the exact same fashion, so we'll go over it again. The piece facing me, I'm gonna flop over first. Then again, the point towards me, and then the point away from me. I'm gonna snug it down, make it nice and tight. Okay, and then I'm gonna choose one of these side pieces here, and I'm gonna fold it over, just like that. Fold in your point and your point back out. Same thing with the other side, fold it over nice and tight. I'm gonna fold my point in and then again back out, okay? And then I'm gonna take this very last piece here, I'm gonna fold it over the top, and I'm gonna tuck it in, just like we did on the first one. Okay, so there we go, we've got a nice square piece. Take a piece of your sterilizing tape. You want to rip off a piece big enough to go around it, okay? Tab your ends of both pieces of your tape so that when you're pulling these off in surgery, you can get them off quick and easy, okay? Where you want to place this is right about where that tab is that you're going to pull. So you're going to place it on the top, over the tab, and then wrap it around the bottom like that, okay? And again, don't stop your tape right here because it's not going to tape it down. You need this not to open as you guys are moving it around and as you're stocking things, okay? That's what it should look like. Then we're going to take our Sharpie. It does need to be a Sharpie, and it needs to be a permanent marker. It can't be waterproof or a dry erase marker, or it'll just wipe right off, okay? And then I'm going to mark this surgery gown, so SX, and then gown, and huck towel. And then I'm going to write the date, so today's 8/19/24, and I'm going to write my initials, which are KR. And that's it. This guy needs to now be put in the autoclave and sterilized. Once it's sterilized and fully dry, then it can be restocked. When we restock our sterilized items, we need to make sure that we're looking for the black lines that will appear after it's steam sterilized. On this tape, there'll be black lines. That tells us that it is sterile, okay? And then from there, we can go ahead and stock it. The newest items that have been sterilized go in the very back, and the oldest items are in the very front, just as if you were to stock a refrigerator or food, okay? And that's it. That's how to wrap a gown and hot towel. Hope you guys got it and wasn't too difficult. Okay, bye.